Hello and welcome to your first lecture on power electronics. We'll be starting this study on power electronics with the topic of switched mode power conversion. Here in this diagram you can see a basic architecture of a variable frequency drive. So a VFD where I have an AC machine here. It could be an induction machine or a synchronous machine, whatever. And I want to control the voltage fed to the machine and also the frequency of the machine. So here is the AC mains. It could be 50 hertz or 60 hertz depending on the country where you reside. And then this AC is converted into DC. Alternating current is converted into DC by this block here, which is called a rectifier, and the DC voltage is then stored across this capacitor C, and this DC is then converted again into AC with variable frequency and voltage. So here we have another block which is called an inverter which converts DC to AC. So a rectifier converts AC to DC and an inverter inverts DC back to a variable frequency AC. So during the normal operation, energy flows from the AC side towards the induction machine through this route, which you can see through the red arrows. But we can also utilize the energy from the machine during its braking, where we can feed this energy back and store it across the filter capacitor. So this is known as the regenerative braking action. We can go one step further and feed this energy back to the grid via this route, which you can see with black arrows. So this rectifier, if I replace it with a switch mode converter, which allows two-way power flow. So during rectification, power will flow like this, and during the regenerative braking of the machine, power is fed from the DC side to the AC side. So this rectifier is behaving as a switched mode converter. And during normal operation, energy would flow from the mains towards the induction machine via this inverter, but this inverter also allows two-way power flow. Thus, this is also a switch mode converter. However, since most of the time power will be flowing from the AC side to the DC side through the rectifier, we call this switch mode converter as a switched mode rectifier. For this building block, most of the time power will be flowing from the DC side to a variable frequency AC. Thus, this converter here is commonly called a switched mode inverter. And in this course, we'll be looking at different types of switched mode converters which are used for rectification as well as inversion purposes in various different applications. So in this first lecture, I wanted to give a brief overview of switch mode power conversion. In the next lecture, we'll go into further detail of the different building blocks of this architectural diagram, and we will understand the fundamental operating principles of rectifiers, inverters, and study their circuitry in detail. So see you in the next lecture.